Mighty Mule 360 gate opener, and I'll show you what it's doing here. So that beeping happens, I'd say about once every 3 seconds. And I've watched a video here on YouTube. I believe his channel is Normstead, and he took it apart and found some issues inside with a limit switch, and he had a bunch of moisture build up and stuff. I believe he was up north. We're down south in Florida, and we have trouble with humidity and stuff like that, and spiders building webs inside of these things, electronics and stuff, especially for a limit switch like he was dealing with. I've seen spiders mess up well pump switches, activator switches, and somebody's well would go out just because of a spider building a web or a nest inside of there, or ants can get in there. But I'm going to take it apart and see if I can do the same thing as Normstead did and repair this thing without spending any money. But we're going to find out. And mine should be pretty easy to take off. I just got these pin on the gate, pin on the arm here. I'll just take these out. I already got these locks taken out. This one out. And I'm just gonna kind of pull this thing out of here. And then the electronics are up here. The wires are running in this back here. See, just 2 wires. And then there's 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. Take these screws off and get this bottom cover off. I've had this gate opener for going on probably 3.5 years or so, and I haven't had a whole lot of trouble with it. A few times maybe with just kind of limits and stuff like that, but what really happens is my gate, the end over there is kind of low, and I keep it low because I've got small dogs, and it kind of ends up digging down into the dirt here. As you can see, it's made a trail through the dirt now, so I got to get out here every once in a while with the flat shovel and dig its path back out. Alright, I've got the cover off. Let's see. Let's toss that down. You see what I'm saying? Got all kinds of crud in here. Something's living in here. That's a nest of some sort. I would say dirt dauber, but it looks like ants made a nest in here. There's a bunch of feces of some sort. Let's see. I'm going to turn it off. You've heard the beep. If you're having that beep, then we'll see if we can both kind of solve this together. I don't know if, okay. That's the power wire. These wires are labeled, so the red, black, and green there. I'll give you a closer look. And they're actually labeled on the board, so you almost can't mess this one up. Sounds like there's rain coming. I may have to delay this if I can't do this fast enough. But I'm going to have to go find a tiny little flathead to get in there to loosen these screws to pull these wires out, and then I can get into the dry weather, because it looks like it's about to rain and I don't want to get this thing wet, or more wet than it already is. Alright, so I found my tiny screwdriver. It's not going to focus on it, is it? Tiny screwdriver. Let's get in here, loosen these screws. Just loosen them up so you can pull the wire out. Probably just a few turns. And I am in the rain currently. Okay, so that wire came loose. Alright, so that's our whole arm there. I'm going to take that and wash that out as well. Get all that gook out of there. But I'm going to take this into the shed, start working on it, because it's raining. Alright, so we're staying dry. I got the arm here. Hopefully there's enough light in the shed so you can see. Kind of open this a little bit more. Alright, so now these look like star keys or Torx. Even these look like Torx here. But I'm going to pull this board off first. These are actually labeled, this red and black here, so if you pull these off, can get them off. You can actually see here on this side, well, I'm turning the camera so you can see it. It says that M right there, minus. On the other side, it actually has a plus, M plus. So it's plus and minus. Red would be positive, black would be negative. So easy way to remember how to connect those two wires. Looks like I just need the Phillips again. If you can hear my rooster, he's always after something. This one. It's always nice to have a magnetic screwdriver. Set these up here. Keep these nice and safe. I think that was it. Just 2 wires. We got some more connections on the bottom. And these seem pretty apparent. I mean, you can't go wrong with this plug here. Kind of wiggle that off. And again, we have a positive and a negative. But I don't see any markings. I would recommend taking pictures of this, maybe. A good thing is I have a video. Probably just wiggle these wires off this board. There we go. The other one. All right. That control board. We're going to take a look at this. See. Definitely got a bunch of moisture on here. I'm going to dry this off. Normstead actually also gave me a great idea because I was thinking about using compressed air for my compressor. Unfortunately, compressors do gather a lot of moisture and water. And they can build up a lot of water in the tank. And basically they would spray out hot, wet air. Or just wet air. But I don't have duster. Computer duster. So we're going to have to find another way to dry these things off, these components. Alright, for the torque screws in here that we got to take out, they're T25, and I just happen to have this tool set sitting here with a T25 torque bit, so I'm going to use my ratchet instead of a screwdriver. Might be a little easier. A drill would be much easier, but I don't feel like running back to the truck and grabbing one. So I'm going to loosen these up with this ratchet. Probably outside of the nest in here. Quite a few of these torques down here down the arm. Seem to be pretty tight. Really need a ratchet, I guess. None of them are very tight. Use my hand. Longer on this thing, longer extension on it. Down there. If I get screwed down in this hole, you can't see it, but I think down in their hole there might be a screw that I have to get to. I don't think this to get to it. It's not skinny enough to get down in that hole, so I may have to get my screwdriver anyway. This is some decent length. Yeah, so
it's just two different lengths here.
Okay, so this end has a threaded plastic nut on it, I guess. Slide this back. Let's do that. Let's see. But I think there's definitely a screw in there that I got to get out. All right, I'm gonna grab a skinnier Torx so I can get in there. All right, I got a little Torx bit. Get in there and get this one out now. Let's see, grab that screw. I just leave it while I take this arm off. Work down. Oh, I see. I've got to cut this. It stinks. Dang it! I don't have a razor knife or a knife in my pocket. I'd rather not just slide this. Let me see if I can find a knife. Old rusty razor blade. Ought to do the trick. Oop, fell out of the groove. What stinks is this sticker actually wore off at one point, and I re-stuck it on there. It just looks better with it on, or it may have been this one that I had to stick back on. One or the other. This one looks like it's starting to come off. I'll stick it back on there if it ever comes off totally. Alright, looks like we can open it now. I'm just gonna, what's going on down here? Okay. So, there's the motor. I don't know if that's remnants of a gasket, or if this is something that they call a gasket. I don't even know what the hell that is. It's definitely not worthy of calling a gasket. This gasket is still here, but it doesn't even fit the notch that it's cut for. And see, Normstead was having trouble with this arm. This one seems to be okay. It's clicking. Okay. So it's getting water in here, but not a whole lot of water going on in here. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to grease this threaded rod here. I'm not sure if I should grease that or not. I may just put some grease on it before I get it put back together. I'm sure grease would help it run a little more smoothly. All right, I'm gonna pull this little board off and see, just kind of clean it up, take a look at it. All right. I don't know if you can hear it over the rain, but there is an audible click, which is what it's supposed to do. Okay, I don't have any air duster, computer cleaner, compressed air, but I think what I'm going to do is put these boards in a toaster oven, and that may sound odd to some of you, but you can search YouTube, and there's a lot of videos on reflowing solder joints, and I'm not sure that's the problem, and I don't really want to put these in there at 370 degrees, but I am going to put them in my toaster oven at about 200 for about 10 minutes. All right, here's the toaster oven, here's the boards. Don't follow me on this. I recommend Googling this or watching a few YouTube videos. Basically, what I'm going to do is go to bake, and this is a convection oven, so it's going to convection bake. I'm going to take this thing down to 10 minutes and then set the temp. I'm actually going to go to 225. The melt, you can't go wrong. You can basically, well, you can go wrong. You can set these to, a lot of people will bake these at 350, 370 or so. I think the solder melting point is 370 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm talking Fahrenheit. So to do this, I'm taking out this basket. I'm actually using balls on here, aluminum balls, to hold this circuit board up a little bit. Just like that, to elevate it. All right, this is basically what I wanted. The balls to hold the board off of these wires, because I don't want the solder points to touch all of these wires. I got this one just on a kind of a curved piece of aluminum, and I'm holding these wires up off of this because this may melt these wire casings. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm going to leave them elevated just in case. And I'm going to put this in, trying not to let it fall over out of place. Okay, this basket sits in here. All right, turn the light on. Let's see that. Yes, it's dirty. And there you go. All right, I had a last minute change. I bumped it up to 250 and back onto 10 minutes. So I'm gonna press start. We're gonna bake these 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm just gonna have a cup of coffee. And this is Cute staring out into the rain, wishing he could go outside. Huh, buddy? Don't you wish you could go back outside right now? Okay, we're at 5 minutes, the halfway point. Slice of watermelon. Check my YouTube channel analytics. All right, 3 seconds. Now I'm just gonna let it cool down. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, so gonna give it about 10 minutes inside of the toaster oven to cool down. Then I'm gonna take it out and let it cool off outside of the toaster oven. Another cup of coffee. Another slice of watermelon. Go back to my channel dashboard. And still no new subscribers. It's been like 5 minutes. What's going on? All right, 5 seconds. All right, let's get it out of here. It's cool enough. So at this point, we almost know for certain that it's dry. So we'll take it. It's a little warm. I'm gonna let it cool on here for just a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna take it and put it back together. Okay, I got everything back here in the shed with the arm, and I'm gonna reinstall these boards. Get in there. This wire was actually fed through here. All right. Still hear an audible click from the limit switch. I am actually going to put grease on this threaded bolt just to help it go a little smoother. I'm just going to smooth it out with my finger here. I don't want to get too much in there. Okay, then I'm just going to flip this back over, put it back on. Okay. Everything looks good. Put this back on. Screws back in. Okay, now we're going to put the board back on. Remember, there's 2 plugs that were underneath the board. Let's see. So this clip, this one was easy.
pins up. Put it down.
I had to review my own video to get these right. Tuck that back up in there. Okay. The wire goes down in there. And get this board screwed back down. There. Screws up here. Shite. Alright, I got the circuit board snug back down. Only had 2 screws. Alright, these two, remember for these we had a minus on this side and a positive on this side. So the black to the negative, red to the positive side. Ready to take back up there. I'm gonna hook it back up and see if drying those boards out did anything. Alright, I'm back out here at the gate. I'm just gonna hook these connections back up. It's beeping already. And these are kind of still in place here. Green, black, and red. So I don't know if it's in there. I'll get this cover back on before the whole thing gets soaking wet again. Okay. All right. Get it back into position. Why did the arm? No. Let's see. Let's see, this one was in that hole. Put that in there. Another pin over here. All right, turn it on. See if we're getting any beeps. I don't hear any beeps. So here's the true test. It worked. So I did this in the oven, or toaster oven, to dry my boards. And then if you could buy some computer or compressed air, they normally sell this stuff at computer stores for blowing out keyboards, the compressed air. I did it by baking the boards. I'd be cautious when doing something like that. But that's it. It will live to work another day. And I did it in the rain. Rainy Sunday morning.